Welcome to the Micro HOA that's not afraid to act like a 3-year-old and ask why. That's right, it's time for Who Are You? This week, our +1 superhero and our +1 sidekick are going to get prodded. They divulge their inner secrets. It's time to ask why.
Welcome to Network Roundtable's Who Are You? I'm Dennis Deuce, and this week we are going to get to know Marilyn Shannon from Skywire and the ultimate runner here, Jeremy Murphy, is joining us. And we're going to get to know these people. Neither of them are people that I know really well. I spent a couple of hours with Marilyn over the weekend getting to know her, and I've spent about 5 minutes with Jeremy so far. And about all I really know is that he runs a lot of marathons. And so we're going to discover who these people are on this week's Network Roundtable. Who are you? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So we'll start this off as we normally do, asking the first question to Marilyn. And here we go. Marilyn, who are you?
Well, first I like to say I'm a grandma.
Okay. Why?
Well,
And we don't need the birds and the bees story. I think we got that figured out.
And that's a really good question to ask someone who's worked most of my adult life and had children. And why I would say grandma first is because I was not the mother in the park. I wasn't the one who was always there in the park with my kids. My kids always knew I loved them, and I had 2 daughters, but I was a working woman. I had a career. At one point I owned a furniture store for many years. I was in marketing and advertising. I worked in print. I worked in electronic. I traveled a lot. I did a lot of things. And I connected with my kids, but I wasn't in the park. And now as a grandma, I go to the park. There's nothing that is better for me than connecting with my grandsons. And I have 2, and I have another grandchild, not sure what it is yet, on the way. But when my grandson looks at me and says, "Grandma Marilyn, where are you?" I melt. So that's the next part of me. I haven't given up the other part. I've just added a part.
Why?
Life's short, and I am all about freedom. I'm all about connecting. I'm all about this universe. I'm all about people. I'm all about everything. And if I don't do it, if I'm not being it, then I can't possibly speak it, share it, know it exists. I have to know what there is out there. I have to know how much is possible. And every single day, I am learning more and more of what I didn't know. And so I've got to be able to, and I'm happier than I've ever been. And I'm doing more than I ever have. So I would say that that's why.
One more time, and no guarantees that this is the last one. Why?
Because I love life. I'm a believer in our personal freedoms. I believe that people can be and have and do and explore and create anything they want to, for the most part. And I want to see it happen. I want to see each person be able to live the fullest, most exciting human experience they can possibly experience. And I see it happening. I see the light through the darkness, and I really do. And I'm the experiment. Sometimes it puts hair on my chest. But nonetheless, I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to practice what I preach and preach what I practice.
Fantastic. All right, well, we are overjoyed to have Kristen Drysdale, who has joined us. Of course, we're using Cameraman app, so you can't all see that, but she's here now. And so, Kristen, are you ready to hit the next set of questions for Marilyn? Maybe not. All right, well, she's still muted and got her camera turned off, so I'm going to go ahead and keep rolling with the show. Marilyn, I'm going to ask you the same. Oh, Kristen.
Hey.
Hi.
What a crazy afternoon.
Yes, it has been, and that's probably a good roll-in to remind me to say, I'm sorry, everyone. I messed this up. Marilyn couldn't make it at 12:42 and kindly asked if we could do it at 2:42, and I kindly said yes, and I quickly and promptly forgot. So thank you for coming back, everyone. And I'm sure that's part of what you're talking about there, right, Kristen?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, appointments go and they come, and we have to change things, and then sometimes they can't be changed. We try to do both at the same time.
Yep.
Well, Marilyn, who are you?
I'm a listener. I am somebody who has listened listened a little, and then I heard something, and then I said, wow, I got to listen more. So I listened a little more, which meant I paid attention a little bit more, which meant I listened a little deeper, which meant I listened beyond the deeper. And I just kept taking listening deeper and deeper. And so I've been able to uncover things that, and it's only the simple things, because what else is there really? And so I'm a listener, I'm an interpreter. I work with my clients in interpreting through listening maybe what they haven't touched yet, and I can help connect the dots.
Why?
Because I've seen the light turn on. I've seen 20-year-old young men who are emotional, who are creative, and who the world doesn't always acknowledge for being creative and being emotional. And I've seen that when all you do is listen and you allow them to explore who they truly are, you see the light turn on. And I've seen men, emotional men, the same way. I've seen women who, you know, can have things, can be mothers, can be wives, can be business women, figure out how to cut through the chase, you know, how to make it a little simpler and end up with more. So I have proof that what I can see through my listening and what I can listen through my seeing is possible. And for everybody, not just for me. I wasn't given bigger ears than anybody else. I'm just using them.
Why?
Because many years ago, when I became a Superior Court mediator, I started doing some workshops on communicating because I felt that it was so important for people to connect and communicate. That I knew that if the world could communicate, we would have a healthier world. If people could just share, use their words, you know, tell people how they feel, like, I don't like this, and I don't blame you, but I'm angry about this, or whatever it is, just use your words. And I started doing workshops. And I went to do several of them at one time, and people were crying in the workshop. And I came home from giving this workshop, or several of them, and my then boyfriend, who is now my husband, said, I told him what happened. I said, hey, people are crying. I don't know why. All I'm doing is talking about communicating. And he turned around and said, Marilyn, you're talking about listening. People didn't feel heard. People didn't feel understood. They didn't feel respected. They didn't know that what was going on. And I go, oh my God, what is that? People are being listened to and we're crying? And I thought, wow, just listening. That's all we have to do, listening. We don't have to agree. We just have to listen. And to ourselves. Can you imagine tuning into yourself? And, I mean, what we don't want to listen to we're already carrying around with us anyway. So we might as well listen, hear what we have to hear, see what we have to see, touch it, smell it, learn about it, and open up.
One more time. Why?
because I have hope. I'm an endless hoper. I'm a hoper. And I see the world. I see what happens when people come together when they don't even know each other. There are what I like to call invisible lines of connection that exist between all of us. And when we excite those lines, when we open up those lines because we see them, because we know they exist, we can get along with everyone. We can understand people. People can understand us. We don't have to go to war. We don't have to fight. We don't have to feel competitive, less than. We don't have to feel somebody's always going to be better than us. It won't matter. And it doesn't matter who we are. The world will heal when we can talk to each other, when we just understand. I don't have to agree with anyone. I just can understand where they're coming from and let that be okay. And you can understand where I'm coming from. And I believe that when the world does this, it'll be a whole lot better than it is now.
Thank you. Powerful stuff.
All right. Jeremy, are you ready? It's your turn to ask Marilyn the same 4 questions.
Yes. So, Marilyn, tell us, who are you?
I'm crazy in love. I'm crazy in love with life, and I'm not out there to lunch. I have my pain, I have my sorrows, but I'm crazy in love with life. And I think that we are living in the Garden of Eden. When we really take a look, and it's up to all of us to do this. It's all of our responsibilities. It's not just mine. It's not just yours. It's all of us. And whatever piece we take, that piece matters. And I believe that we need to share our wins. We need to be okay with tooting our horn, with letting people know our successes, so that more and more people will feel more and more comfortable being successful as opposed to poo-pooing success. We're not going to get anywhere. Our children are not going to thrive if all we do is poop our successes. We've got to stand up there and go, yes, I did it good today.
Why?
Because it matters, and what we're doing matters. You know, I have been looking forward to this all day, and I already did one show, my talk show that I do online every Monday. It's an internet TV type talk show, and I did it on progress today, and how we measure progress, which can be just this simple little step. And I want to see that for everybody. I want us all to be able to say, okay, this is how I progressed today. This is what I did today. And to be able to stand up tall and be able to share that, and to have, you know, people who want to listen.
Why?
Because I am a communicator. At one time I taught special ed. It was the craziest year of my entire life. I hated teaching special ed. It scared me every single day I went. And I drove to the school every day to teach behavior disorders. And I didn't have a special education degree. I just figured I was street enough to do it. Well, it turned me upside down and inside out. But what I learned from that experience, I used to drive every day and I'd say, oh dear God, what is my art? Certainly I'm creative. Certainly I have something to offer. My mouth, and in expressing things, my truth is my art. I know how to express life in a street, common way of doing it. I don't use big language. I have a hard time spelling. I am not full of degrees, even though I have always found myself in a room with people with high degrees. I don't have it. But what I do know is through connecting with people, through heart-to-heart connecting, I understand that connections are the most important thing, and that they are there, and just, it's like fruit on a tree. We just need to go and take it, go and share it. And I believe that I have a gift to express these things, and that people are going to listen. Or not everybody, but some people. And that they'll listen to you, Jeremy, they'll listen to Dennis, they'll listen to Kristen, that there are people that they're going to listen to. And it's going to be mouth to mouth, hand to hand, heart to heart. It may not happen in a one big bang. It's going to happen piece by piece. And that's what we're doing.
And one final question. Why?
Because if it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to you. If it's to be, it's up to us. We are. I have a poem that I love, and it's part of my personal mission to re-enchant the planet. The planet is already enchanted. We just have a layer of yuck on it, and that layer of yuck is the fear that somebody told us we should have. It's this, it's that, it's all these things. It's all it is. And when we find a way to lift the veil, it's just where the planet's going to be. How can this not be enchanting? I mean, look outside. Just look. I mean, look around everybody. Just look. We are the elves and the giants. We are all of us. We're the ones that shine every day, and we're the ones that don't shine very much. It's all of us, and it's up to us. That's why. So I'm out here talking on every level that I can talk, in different venues, so that little by little, the message of healing, of peace, of love, of connection, of be the experiment, I like to say, toot your oops and toot your toots. Toot your lessons learned and toot your wins. Let's just all keep tooting, and it's going to be a lot better. That's why.
Wow.
Thank you. Excellent.
All right. So I guess this is the point when I get to, even though I've apparently been forgiven for messing up the time, I get to toot my oops.
Yep. Yeah, because it gives me permission to toot mine when I mess up too.
Yay me! I messed up. Woo! Okay. So now we're going to turn the camera on Jeremy, and we're going to go through the same set of questions, and we'll see whether Kristen gets back. She's dropped out. So I will start out, and I may do the second set, or she might do the second set. We'll just see.
Okay.
But for now, Jeremy, who are you?
Well, I would start by saying that I'm an adoptive father. I have a daughter that we adopted from China.
I am an adopted father, too. I'm liking you more and more all the time. Okay, let me ask you why.
Well, my wife and I desired to have children. We weren't able to have children through conventional means, and the opportunity opened up to adopt from China, and we pursued it. And it took a long time, but it was worthwhile, and it brought so much happiness and joy into our lives that we didn't have before. And I can't imagine our family other than how it is right now. And our daughter's smile and her dancing and just all the special ways that she's enriched our lives. We're so grateful for that.
Why?
Well, gratefulness and thankfulness are very important, and if you don't have either of those, it's difficult to really maintain a positive outlook. And so we try to be grateful and thankful for something every day, or you're missing that opportunity. Because all we have is today. We don't know none of us know if we have tomorrow. So we have to treat each day like today is our last. and fill it as much as we can.
And one last why?
I think that, you know, the years that we have, the days that we have might be long, but the years that we have are short. They tend to go quickly, and so we have to make the most of the opportunities we have, and not allow them to pass away, or we don't get second chances to do certain things. We have to seize those opportunities when we have them.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Kristen, are you stable?
I think so. I don't know what happened. This is like it sucked me in.
Poof.
I got washed down the stream. Oh.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm sure we're all
cracked me
laughing
up.
at that. Okay. So, Jeremy, who are you?
I am an optimist because pessimism didn't work for me.
Love that. Wow. Nice. Okay, why?
Well, as someone with the name Murphy, there's a thing called Murphy's Law. And Murphy's Law gets attached to Murphys in special ways that don't get attached to people that are not Murphys. And so you can get caught up in that and make the pessimism cycle repeat itself. And I tried that, and it didn't work very well. And I found that the only way to break out of that is to become an optimist. In effect, for a Murphy to defy Murphy's Law.
Why?
Well, life is, there are two kinds of people. There are leaders and there are followers. And you can either follow the pack and say that you have to obey Murphy's Law and assume that everything is going to fall from the sky and that, you know, a piano is going to hit you and crush you to the ground and things like that. Or you can look on the bright side of things and try to find light where there is darkness. In effect, to be light for people when they are in darkness, and to help them break out of that cycle, help them to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Why?
Well, certain people cannot. When you're in that darkness, you can't see the light without having someone illuminate it for you in some way, whether it's through a kind word or through, I don't know, for me, playing the piano or singing to them or, you know, reading them something, poetry, however you can connect with that person. If you can help them see the light at the end of the tunnel, you can help them embrace the optimism that you have yourself and convert them to optimism.
Anything lovely and a good report is a gift we can give to others. I love that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Marilyn.
All right. Jeremy, who are you?
This is a very difficult, complex question.
Especially the third time around.
and you have to figure out, you know, where you have the most depth that you could provide a multifaceted answer. So I'm going to say I'm a musician.
Why?
Because I hear music, see music, dream about music. It touches my soul in ways that certain other things do not. And I don't know. I guess also because I've been given the gift. I've been given the gift of playing the piano, playing the organ, singing. You know, partly by being taught by others, but part of that is an innate gift. and wanting to share that with others.
Why?
Well, we all have gifts that we're given, but we're not intended to keep those hidden. We're intended to share those to the fullest capacity that we're able to. And if we don't do that, we're accountable for that later. That's what I believe. So I try to find ways to share that musical ability or talent with people, whether it's playing the piano for them, or singing, or playing the organ, or singing with the choir, playing at church or for worship services, whatever ways that talent can be shared. But if that's hidden and I don't use that, I'm going to pay the price for that later.
Why?
Well, there are limits to how much you can share, but I think we have to exceed those and kind of break through and share those in new ways. There are ways to share your musical talent online, for example, that didn't exist years ago. And so, being able to share that, whether it's by emailing it to someone, you sing a song and, your family can't be present or something, well, you can send it to them, or you can send it through them through social media or something like that. But I think we have to be willing to look outside of the box and go outside our comfort zones and be able to share our gifts in a broader, more exciting ways to just to share them with a broader audience.
So is that am I supposed to ask another why, or is that?
You've asked your 3 whys, and you can ask as many whys beyond 3 as you want to. You can keep diving deeper, or you can call it done. You're in charge now.
Yeah, I think it's done.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Well, this week's Network Roundtable is brought to you by the letter H and the word happiness. And we will be talking all about happiness this Friday with Marilyn and Jeremy. So excited to talk about happiness with the two of them, especially Jeremy and his comments on Murphy's Law. If you didn't notice, those cracked me up. I did want to add that I have decided to bless the world by not singing.
I don't know. You have a nice speaking voice. You could at least sing.
Oh, I'm not a bad singer. It was just a good joke. Oh. Or a bad joke. I'm not sure.
I want to hear you sing now.
Yeah, not going to happen right this minute.
We can sing together.
Have you ever tried to do that on an HOA? It does not work well. The latency is really annoying.
Elaine and I sang Happy Birthday to Wade Harmon. Whoa. That was fun. Yeah.
You have to sing rounds, so you're singing back and forth to each other.
There you go. You could sing in rounds. That would definitely work.
Yeah, or we need a conductor.
Well, the conductor would have to have 4 arms.
True.
In order to time us all properly. Anyway, okay, so we're going to close down this week's Bizarre Show. I do want to say one last thing before I jump off the air. This is to you, Candy. I just sent you a private message, and I really want to talk to you about this, what I sent to you. So check your messages, because I've got something that I think could be exciting for both of us. And that... How do you like that?
G-Friend's not going to let you go. You just opened up a whole... You just opened up, like, an entire door. G-Friend's going to be like your best friend now. Huh, Candy?
Well, she's been calling you GF the whole time, so maybe she can call me BF, right?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, Marilyn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for introducing us to Jeremy. This has been awesome, and I am really looking forward to Friday's show. We will be on the air at 9:02 Mountain Standard Time. That's 11 in the East, 10 Central, and 8 in the morning, 8:02 West Coast. See you all then.
Bye. Thank you.